Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you don't remember who I am, my name's Paul, and today the exercise of the week is none other than the plank. As per all our videos in terms of exercise of the week, we'll always start off with an explanation, so we'll always explain why you should do an exercise like this. Then I'll show the demonstration, give you a few pointers, and then for today's video I'll just show you one version of a regression. Mainly because there are many variations to a plank, and I would also like to get some done in the future and show you guys as a separate video. So let's sort of talk about why an exercise like the plank is important. And I think it's important to understand that this exercise obviously targets the muscles of our core. But I think one of the misconceptions in the fitness world today is that we usually define the core as just our ab muscles, so our tummy muscles. And our core can actually consist of not just our tummy muscles, but our glutes, and as well as the muscles of the back. And I think that's really important to understand because a plank can target these, and that's why an exercise like this is very important to do. So why should athletes do core exercises? Well, aside from getting the 6 and the 8 packs that we all desire, the core really helps us out when we're running. If you notice, every runner has a different stride, has a different running technique, and in some instances this is okay. But you can tell if a runner has what we would say they don't have adequate core strength. If that's the way to describe it, is that you can see that you notice that their core starts to wiggle a bit, and you'll notice it sometimes in the hips, that the hips tend to sort of wiggle up and down, and our shoulders will sort of do that as well. So that's why you need a strong core, and the plank is again a really simple exercise that you can do next to your desk. You can do it at home, in the comfort of your own home. You can do it as part of your gym circuit. It's a really good exercise that I think a lot of people can do. And it's one, like I said, that definitely strengthens that core, which is really important. So, without further ado, let's watch the demo. Okay, so just quickly watch as I perform the plank for about another 5 to 10 seconds-ish. And then I'll give you some tips and pointers. So now that you've seen the demo, I'm just going to quickly explain the 2 tips that we have for performing a plank. So first tip, might sound a little bit obvious, but we want to maintain that normal spine curvature. Again, I'm going to use that ruler analogy, but don't take that the wrong way. So you still want to maintain that normal spine curvature, and what I'll mean by that in the instance of the plank is you don't want to lift your bum up in the air, nor do you want to try and lower your hips to the ground. And I noticed this to be quite common in, you should say, less experienced people undertaking S&C programs, or really it's the first time that they're performing a plank. Now, yes, I can understand that a plank can be hard, but if you want the maximum benefits out of this exercise, you want to maintain that normal spine curvature and stick to that ruler analogy. Again, if you don't remember what those are, I've explained them in the push-ups video, and I've also explained them in my most recent video about squats. So I'll leave a link in the description for them, but make sure that you understand what I'm talking about as I'm showing these. So now we've got the second tip, and it's really nice and simple. It's just keeping your shoulders in line with your elbows. So we don't want our elbows too far forward, nor do we want our shoulders in front of our elbows. We want them exactly in line. If you can see what I'm doing in the plank, you can see that I've got a nice 90-degree angle that I've made with my elbows. And obviously that's only possible if you keep your shoulders in line with your elbows. Now, as you can see what I'm doing here, I'm doing this in the comfort of my own home in my garage. And as you can see, I've got something like a mat. Now, obviously, in most gyms or in most settings where you're going to do a plank, you're most likely going to have a soft surface. If you don't, it might be a bright idea to invest in either a yoga mat, or you can even use a towel sometimes. I've done that before, and that's helped me, because otherwise your elbows are going to be in a bit of strife and it is going to hurt a lot. So that's why I'm recommending get a yoga mat or use a towel. So as I said before, we're only doing one variation, and this is a regression, which is pretty much what we're going to call a modified plank. It's a very similar principle to the modified push-up that I showed in my previous video. Again, link in the description if you haven't seen it already, please do. And you can see here that obviously we're following the same tips that I explained for the normal plank. So obviously you've got to make sure that you're maintaining that normal spine curvature, or the ruler analogy. This time it's obviously going to be from your knees. And again, we want our shoulders in line with our elbows. So there we have it, guys. Hopefully you know by now how to successfully complete a plank, as well as the modified version that we demonstrated earlier. Just don't forget the 3 key tips. Not to stick your bum up in the air regardless if you're tired. Second of all, don't lower your hips either, making sure you maintain that normal spine curvature. And last of all, don't forget to keep your elbows in line with your shoulders as you complete this exercise. Keep up the running, guys. I hope to see you next week. Take care.